back to Nerden here once again, and in today's video I am going to be talking about my story predictions for The Power of the Doctor, which is the title for the upcoming Centenary special, which will be airing next month, which I'm super excited about. I've got some notes here on my phone of what I'm going to be talking about today. It's going to be a little bit all over the place, but hey, we don't know too much about the episode, but we've had some exclusive preview images from the Doctor Who magazine, which kind of give us some insights into the episode. So I've built up my own little prediction checklist, and I'm going to be running through them today. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so I am going to be thinking that, yeah, the episode is going to be opening up with the former companions, such as Ace and Tegan, and maybe a few other surprises, looking for the Doctor, because there is going to be this big Earth invasion, which we will be talking about in a bit. But that means that UNIT is reformed after previously being disbanded at the beginning of the Chibnall era with the whole Brexit gag thing. Yeah, UNIT is back, obviously being ran again, once again, by Kate Stewart. But there are several former companions now working for them, including Tegan and Ace. And I am holding out for a few other surprises, which would be certainly amazing. There has been a few other surprises hinted at, and there was the leaks as well saying that there will be some other companions there, which I think would be amazing. But I'm not going to delve too deep into that, because I don't know who could come back and what their appearance could add to the story. But yeah, I'm going to mainly be focused on Tegan and Ace. So, speaking of Ace, we don't actually know in terms of the TV canon how she left the TARDIS, and we'll get some form of explanation on how she left. So yeah, get prepared to see another version of how Ace left the TARDIS, which would be very interesting, I guess, for the audience. And speaking of, you know, the classic era and stuff like that, we'll obviously be seeing the Master, who will indeed be held captive by UNIT. But this version of the Master will be the younger one, which in the preview images we saw, he was very, well, he looked a lot younger. You know, he's clean shaven, he looked a lot less tired as well, and I'm guessing this is going to be the Master shortly after regenerating from Missy, which, well, it does kind of mean that the Master's going to be good, and, well, this is going to be the Master before he learned the truth about the Timeless Child. So maybe this version of the Master helps UNIT in some way with whatever's going on. But then what goes wrong? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But for the rest of the episode, Dan is going to be separated from the Doctor and Yaz, and works with Graham, who is obviously returning, played by Bradley Walsh. We did see his character filming some scenes with John Bishop earlier, well, middle of last year when they filmed the Centenary special. And yeah, there's going to be a little subplot there, and that encourages Dan to leave, which we will be talking about in a little bit into this video. The Daleks feature as a cameo during a little montage sequence where the companions split up in order to deal with multiple threats on Earth, because there is a big Earth invasion caused by the older version of the Master, who lies to the Cybermen and to the Daleks. This also does harken back to Eve of the Daleks, where the Daleks thought that the Doctor was behind the flux. Well, it turns out that was the Master that spread that lie to create a distraction, a big distraction that is a massive Earth invasion with Daleks and Cybermen coming into, I guess, our Earth space and start attacking. That is all down to the Master's intervention, which will backfire massively, but we'll get to that eventually. So, the Cybermen decide to invade the brand new UNIT headquarters, but are swiftly dealt with. But that's up until the Cyber Masters appear. And yeah, the Cyber Masters, for those who have forgotten, they are the half Cybermen, half Time Lords. So basically when they're killed, they regenerate and get straight back up. So yeah, the companions are going to struggle fighting these new variants of Cybermen. During the Cyber invasion, Kate Stewart will be killed at the hands of the lone Cyberman, who would have been resurrected by the Master. Now, I don't know how he's going to be resurrected. I'm guessing the Master has figured out a way how to reverse the tissue compression. And hey, he might even shrink Yaz during this episode to kind of add like a, you know, a plot twist. But I think that, yeah, the Lone Cyberman will be brought back just through a reversion of the tissue compression. So yeah, the Lone Cyberman would end up killing Kate Stewart. Kate's death encourages the Doctor to take a final stand between the Master and the Lone Cyberman. During this confrontation, Ashad, who is obviously the identity of the Lone Cyberman, is killed once again by the Master, as their allegiance becomes shattered and complicated once again, as Ashad remembers his previous death. In the final moments of the episode, the Master and the Doctor are close to a cliff top, where the Master pushes the Doctor off the cliff, which mirrors the scenes which are seen during The Timeless Children in Series 12, which, well, yeah, that would certainly be a little bit poetic, and that would mean that we've seen how Jodie was going to regenerate all the way back in Series 12, which would be a bit of a poetic way to go. And also, as well, this wouldn't be the first time that a fall would have caused the Doctor's regeneration because of the Fourth Doctor. But let's get back on to the next bit of the prediction. So Yaz and Dan decide to leave the TARDIS to spend more time on Earth. Dan wants to begin a new chapter of his life with Diane, but Yaz leaves because she feels rejected by the Doctor. But she is still very grateful and thankful for the Doctor helping her discover her true self, help her become a much braver person, and she sees a completely brand new perspective on not just herself, but the universe and everything else. And she feels like she wants to start a new chapter of her life as well. She leaves to begin work at the brandly new reformed unit after being inspired by Ace and Tegan. And it is alluded to that Yaz does replace Kate Stewart as the head of unit, which would certainly open the door to her reappearing in maybe the 60th or future episodes in the next Russell T Davies era, where we see Yaz take a mentor role for units, similar to what Kate Stewart had. So, getting back onto the final parts of the prediction, let's talk about the Fugitive Doctor, as I theorise that the Fugitive Doctor will appear, but not in terms of like a multi-Doctor way, similar to the Fugitive of the Judoon. The Fugitive Doctor will appear when the 13th Doctor briefly opens the fob watch, and we see brief clips of this incarnation running away from Gallifrey, just before Fugitive of the Judoon, and then shortly after, where we do see that this Doctor is forced to regenerate and lose her memories, similar to what we saw in The Timeless Children during the Matrix-style flashbacks, but we do see a younger version of William Hartnell's Doctor. So we get to see the birth, essentially, of the Doctor that we knew all the way back in 1963, which would be amazing. And then, for the last couple parts, let's talk about the final confrontation. So, Sasha's master's fate is left open-ended as he teleports away after seeing the Doctor's lifeless body at the bottom of the cliff. There is a few tears that are very visible on his face, which does hint at remorse for his actions, but he still leaves his friend for dead. The Doctor begins regenerating, obviously because the fall is fatal, it's from a very large cliff, but the usual orange glow is instead purple for some reason. After the sequence is completed, we see a familiar face. Reintroducing David Tennant as the Doctor is the little subtext that appears as, he reappears, and he doesn't actually realise at this point that he is David Tennant again. The Doctor is still completely, not with it. The Doctor hasn't looked at their own reflection, but the audience is very well aware that the Doctor is now David Tennant once again. And the reason why I added like a different coloured glow is just to hint that something's gone wrong with the regeneration, which will be explained in the 60th anniversary. So, yeah, with that being said though, that is my entire plot theory for everything to do with the Centenary Special, aka The Power of the Doctor. So, wow, that was certainly a lot to go through. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, be sure to subscribe for more nerdy content, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.